Rebecca's relationship with Charlie feels unnecessary and distracting because it pulls focus away from the conflicts that actually matter in Landman, without adding enough emotional or narrative payoff to justify the time it takes. In a season already struggling with focus and momentum, this subplot feels less like intentional character development and more like filler, a detour that weakens the show's central tension rather than deepening it. Rebecca's role in the story has always worked best when it's tied to power, risk, and professional survival. She operates in high-stakes environments where one wrong move can end a career. That pressure makes her interesting. Her scenes thrive on sharp dialogue, strategic thinking, and the constant threat of professional fallout. Introducing a romantic relationship with Charlie, especially one tied to the MTech's ecosystem, undermines that tension by shifting her storyline into familiar, low-stakes territory. The biggest issue is timing. Season 2 already has too many major threads competing for attention: the offshore rig, Galino's growing control, Tommy's leadership crisis, and Cammie's divided loyalties. Against that backdrop, Rebecca and Charlie's relationship doesn't feel urgent. It doesn't escalate the main conflict, and it doesn't meaningfully complicate it either. Instead, it pauses the story to explore personal dynamics that don't change the trajectory of MTech's or the stakes facing its leadership. There's also a lack of consequence. If the relationship posed a serious professional risk, one that actively threatened Rebecca's career or compromised key decisions, it might feel justified. But so far, the fallout is implied rather than felt. The show hints at ethical concerns and perception issues, yet rarely forces Rebecca to confront real, irreversible consequences. Without that pressure, the relationship lacks weight. From a character perspective, the pairing doesn't reveal much we didn't already know. Rebecca's ambition, intelligence, and resilience were established long before Charlie entered the picture. Their dynamic doesn't expose new vulnerabilities or contradictions in her character. Instead, it softens her edge at a time when the story needs sharper lines, not gentler ones. Charlie, meanwhile, doesn't have enough narrative gravity to carry the subplot. He exists more as a function of the relationship than as a fully realized character with agency. That imbalance makes their scenes feel one-sided and underdeveloped. When one half of a relationship feels like a narrative accessory, the emotional investment collapses. The relationship also distracts from Rebecca's more compelling role as a professional navigating a male-dominated, ethically murky industry. Landman has been at its strongest when it explores how power dynamics, reputation, and gender intersect in that space. The romance shifts focus inward at the expense of those broader themes, making Rebecca's storyline feel smaller when it should feel sharper. In a tighter season, this subplot might have worked as texture. But Season 2 is already fighting narrative sprawl. Every minute spent on a relationship that doesn't advance the central conflict feels like a missed opportunity to deepen the stakes elsewhere. The result is an episode flow that feels increasingly fragmented, with emotional beats that don't align with the show's supposed priorities. Ultimately, Rebecca's relationship with Charlie isn't harmful because it's bad. It's harmful because it's unnecessary. It doesn't challenge Rebecca, it doesn't significantly impact MTech's, and it doesn't push the story forward in a meaningful way. In a show about power, pressure, and consequence, a subplot without teeth feels out of place. If Landman wants this relationship to matter, it needs to stop treating it as background flavor and start making it cost something. Otherwise, it remains a distraction, one that pulls attention away from the very conflicts that made the show compelling in the first place.